From the shining domicile that is Pittsburgh Comics, my old mannered comic shop owner Colin McMahon transforms into the world's greatest comic book talking TV host. Join us true believers for Comics Now!
Hey everybody, welcome to Comics Now for September 2024. Just an editorial note, the dogs are with me today, so you'll probably hear some click-clacking of nails on the floor. But September is one of my favorite months. I was a weird kid who always enjoyed the beginning of school and the excitement of what was coming. You know, new teachers, new classes, new subjects, all that stuff. So September always was exciting for me. I also love fall, and I love the little chill in the air, and I'm enjoying taking the dogs out in the morning and being a little bit cold. So that's something I've always liked. But it also coincides with the opening of the store. I first opened the store the Tuesday after Labor Day in 2006. So we are celebrating the 18th anniversary this month. And we're going to have a big celebration on Saturday, September 7th. We're going to have a big sale to say thank you for letting me do this for 18 whole years. September is also fun in the comic world. DC, as of late, not as of late, the last 15 years, has been using September as kind of their launch pad for a lot of stuff. New 52 was launched in September. This year they're doing a big thing in October. And we'll get to that next month. But this is kind of setting the landing pad, clearing the decks this month for DC. And Marvel is continuing to roll out their X books. Lots of new stuff coming out there, and then all the other publishers, as usual, coming out with a ton of new number ones that we'll talk about. For book club this month, it's going to be Friday, September 27th. We're going to be talking about Transformers Volume 1. This is the big hit of the year. Daniel Warren Johnson, the Energon universe, all coming from Skybound and Image Comics, and Transformers is one of the bigger hits of the year. So Volume 1's out. We're going to go ahead and talk about it at book club. Now, for our feature month, we're going to be showcasing the works of James Tynion. Now, James has been doing a ton of stuff. Came to real prominence with his run on Detective, and he right now is doing Nice House by the Sea, which is the follow-up to Nice House by the Lake. He also has Something is Killing the Children, which has been running for several years. I think it's coming up on issue 40 real soon. So lots of neat stuff coming that James has put out. So we're going to spotlight his work. Tim has made a real nice display showing you all the variety of stuff that he has done over the years. Now, since X books are all the rage right now, we're going to start with what's the new stuff coming from Marvel Comics. First up from Marvel, we have a brand new Wolverine series. There's a killer in the woods, and as Wolverine's attempt at peace is shattered, an old enemy will reemerge as a new villain rises, who will bring Logan to the brink of his berserker rage. But Nightcrawler knows his old friend is capable of doing what's right, and before long, Logan will have to unleash his claws, push his healing factor to the limit, and demonstrate he's the best there is at what he does once and for all. Nice be damned. We also have new Exceptional X-Men. After the fall of Krakoa, Kate Pryde is trying to get as far away from all things X as she possibly can. She's just a regular bartender now, definitely not getting ready to head up an all-new team of wayward young mutants while avoiding the watchful gaze of Emma Frost. Nothing in this title but work, dating, and staving off depression. That's it. Never before seen Exceptional X-Men to see here. We also have Dazzler #1. Dazzler, Marvel's glittering mutant songstress, has been in and out of the limelight for years, but now the time has finally come for her to take center stage. Dazzler embarks on a new world tour, the culmination and celebration of her entire musical career. And along for the ride is her new road crew, Domino, Strong Guy, and Multiple Man. But while Dazzler may be ready to focus on her music, her celebrity mutant status and a violent attack may sideline the entire endeavor before it's even begun. We also have an Uncanny X-Men 274 Facsimile Edition, early Rogue appearance in the Savage Land. Now, we also have What If Donald Duck became Thor? When Donald Duck chaperones Huey, Dewey, and Louie on an archaeological trip to search for ancient Viking artifacts, he finds more than he bargained for when he comes across the stone ducks from Saturn preparing for an invasion. But everything changes when he discovers an enchanted cane that causes an exceptional transformation, gifting him the power of Thor. Can he learn how to use his abilities in time to save Duckburg before he changes back? We also have a new Spirits of Vengeance book. Johnny Blaze, Danny Ketch, Robbie Reyes, The Hood, Kushala. Many have borne the title of Spirit of Vengeance, and as its most recent claimant has embarked on its final ride to explosive results, others still star in the darker corners of the Marvel Universe. And one in particular has a stronger connection to two Ghost Riders than the rest, and after years, it's ready to show its fangs again at last. We also have a new Marvel Zombies book, Dawn of Decay. Groot feels bad, not only because Rocket's latest scheme put them firmly in the crosshairs of the Avengers, but also he's just plain sick. Sap-dripping nose and all. Things go from bad to apocalyptic, however, after an ill-timed sneeze in Captain America's face has unforeseeable consequences. Suddenly, Groot is being attacked by a horde of zombified Avengers, and only he and Hulk, with his impenetrable green skin, remain impervious. These two heroes team up and fight their way through a blighted New York City to Banner's lab in Avengers Tower to find the cure before it's too late. But can Groot keep the hero in check and on track, or will Hulk unleash his deadly might on the zombies they once called friends? We also have Avengers Assemble. When vampires attacked, a ragtag group of volunteer Avengers changed the tide of battle. And in the aftermath, Captain America has formed the Avengers Emergency Response Squad. Steve's hand-picked team of veterans and newcomers live and train in Avengers Mansion. And when Captain America sounds the mission horn, whoever's on base has seconds to pack up and deploy. When the Red Skull's daughter discovers a dangerous artifact, Cap, Wasp, Photon, and Shang-Chi set out to stop her, while Hawkeye hosts a poker game for the late arrivals. Will the Avengers pass their first real test? And did someone say jackets? We also have Venom War 2. The Venom War rages on. Eddie and Dylan Brock, father and son, in a bloodthirsty battle to determine the one true Venom. But there's one more contender entering the ring, the Amazing Spider-Man. And as the vengeful Meritus begins his endgame, unleashing mindless half-zombie, half-symbiote zombiotes upon New York City and threatening to transform heroes, villains, and innocents into his bloodthirsty servants. We also have Venom War Deadpool. The merc with a mouth bit off more than he can chew, a horde full of ravening zombiotes. Who has Wade not made mad enough to actually lend him a hand? We also have Venom War Daredevil. As Venom War rages, Manhattan finds itself besieged by an infectious new strain of symbiotes, one that drives their living host to an all-encompassing hunger for human flesh and can even reanimate the dead. As the horde of zombiotes descends on Hell's Kitchen, the two Daredevils must rise up and stand as the last line of defense. But will they be enough to stem the tide, or will their brains be first on the menu? And we also have Venom War Lethal Protectors, Silver Sable and the Symbiote Squad. Join the Venom War. Sable's assembled a new hyper-lethal mercenary team in order to steal Classified. Standing in their way, bloodthirsty zombiotes. Time to fight fire with fire by unleashing the Life Foundation symbiotes. Scream, Riot, Agony, Lasher, and Phage against their foes. Also, Venom War Wolverine. The only thing more dangerous than Wolverine is Wolverine bonded to a mindless symbiote hungry for flesh. As zombiotes spread across New York City, transforming everyone in their path into uncontrollable killing machines, Logan's only hope to save lives and avoid infection lies in returning to a dark chapter from his past. We also have the Infinity Watch storyline continues in Moon Knight Annual, Spider-Boy Annual, and it ends up in Avengers Annual. We also have the Amazing Spider-Man 260 Facsimile Edition and Secret Wars 9. We also, Deathlock 50th Anniversary Special. Luther Manning became one of Marvel's most recognizable cyborgs as his astonishing tales set the standard for comic book sci-fi and dystopian futures. Now we travel back to the ruins of Manhattan for an action-packed, laser-blasting, building-smashing, explosive adventure uncovering secrets of a world that will excite new and longtime fans. Travel to the world of tomorrow that went horribly wrong. Filled with danger around every corner, brutal villains, a reluctant half-man, half-machine hero named Deathlock, and an ending designed to shock your technology-tormented brain. Star Wars is doing an Alkalite special, Kelnaka, and we also have Star Wars 50 ending the series. A 50-page extravaganza. Jedi Master Luke Skywalker must teach his student Ben Solo a powerful lesson about the true balance between light and dark. He offers up a tale from the days of the Rebel Alliance that touches on all eras of Star Wars history and brings this epic run to a thrilling, incredible conclusion. We also have the issue 50 of Darth Vader, which is going to be the last of that series. Now on to what's coming from DC Comics. Okay, DC has a lot going on with Absolute Power this month, but they also have some neat new books coming out. First off, Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween. This is by Jeff Loeb, and this first issue is by Eduardo Risso. In 1996, writer Jeff Loeb and artist Tim Sale teamed up for Batman The Long Halloween, an award-winning 13-chapter saga that spanned multiple sequels and stands as the most influential Batman story of its era. Now Loeb returns to the world of The Long Halloween for its long-anticipated final act, The Last Halloween, an all-new 10-part mystery continuing the story. In each issue, Loeb will be joined up by one of the top artists in comics in a beautiful and lovingly crafted tribute to Sale's art and legacy. In issue 1, Gotham City learns to fear Halloween once more as a terrible event threatens to destroy Jim Gordon's life and put Batman and Robin's teamwork to the test more than ever before. In a city of liars, masked vigilantes, and criminals, can anyone be trusted? Now on to Absolute Power, we have Absolute Power 3. Our heroes are on the run following the Trinity of Evil's devastating attack on the Fortress of Solitude. With Superman's headquarters in ruin and the superpowers on planet Earth in the clutches of Amanda Waller, Failsafe, and the Brainiac Queen, is this the end of the line? No way! The Resistance lives on using Fortress technology cobbled together by Mr. Terrific and Airwave. Earth's last hope have retreated to Themyscira, home of Wonder Woman and famously suspicious of outsiders. Can Superman, Batman, and the rest of the depowered heroes strike an alliance with these elite Amazonian fighters? All this and a mad mayday from Barry Allen as DC's war for absolute power rages on. Batman 152 ties in a thrilling Absolute Power tie-in, Batman and Catwoman must find the key to Amanda Waller's plans in an extremely remote and shockingly dangerous location. Living up to their name, some of the Suicide Squad won't be coming back from their mission, but will Batman and Catwoman stay free to fight another day? In Superman 18, Waller has the powerless heroes of the DC Universe on the ropes. Can the powerless Superman and Zatanna find the mystical map to the dark roads in time to get some major backup? And in Wonder Woman 13, Gamera found. Wonder Woman and Robin have finally located Amanda Waller's super jail, holding the powerless heroes as they once fought alongside. Can the new dynamic duo break them out before they become trapped themselves? An undercover ally may hold the key to everything. Now, so Green Arrow 16, Team Arrow is up against a wall, and it's not Amanda Waller. It's her agent of destruction, Bright. Who is Bright, and why does he hate Green Arrow and his family? Ollie must decide if he should save his family, even if it means they become locked up in Waller's super prison. In Green Lantern 15, Hal has a problem. He needs to charge his ring, but the entrance to the power battery is a continent away. Plus, the skies over Earth are patrolled by Amanda Waller's modified Amazos, which leaves Hal with one choice: to ride into the danger zone. Don't worry, he totally got permission to use the Batplane for this mission. Wink. We also have Absolute Power Super Son. Jonathan Kent has suffered more than most at the hands of the Trinity of Evil, but the son of Superman will summon the will to fight back. In this special, oversized edition of Absolute Power, will travel to the depths of despair as one of the most powerful beings on planet Earth must reckon with his own past to save his future. And the road to recovery will pave the way for a critical new chapter in the journey of the Super Son. It's a clash of power, the tale of self-discovery, and the start of a new dream. We also have Absolute Power Origins 3, finishes up, and Absolute Power Task Force 6 introduces the enemy of the Amazo against the Amazons, and in Task Force 7, The Trinity of Evil achieve total domination over Earth's superpowered protectors. But what of the heroes not of this Earth? Just as Kal-El of Krypton before him, John Jones of Mars has felt the devastating effects of Waller's Task Force 7 fighters as they continue their mission of siphoning metahuman power across the globe. But hope glimmers even in the face of the ghastly Global Guardian, and a new generation of fighters from every corner of the world have joined forces to rise up. Now, moving on from absolute power, we have multiverses, collision detected. Bruce Wayne, Diana Prince, and Clark Kent each wake in a cold sweat, troubled by strange dreams they've had about the Rabbit, the Star Child, and the Witch. Their investigation into these enigmatic visions bring them to unexpected locales and unusual characters, but none more unusual than the mysterious Rabbit from their dreams as they find themselves face to face with the one and only Bugs Bunny. What the heck is going on here? And who in the name of the multiverse are the Star Child and the Witch? We also have a Trinity special, World's Finest. The world's finest heroes of tomorrow are back for more. The daughter of Wonder Woman and the Super Sons return for more stories filled with laughs, action, and awe-inspiring adventure. Can Lizzie survive Darkseid and his terrifying path? Will an innocent trip to the past for homework change the future? Are Damien and John's barks worse than their bite? Find out in this collection of the latest backup stories from the hit Wonder Woman series. We also have DC's I Know What You Did Last Crisis, which is their Halloween special. We have the Lobo cancellation special. Just when you thought it was safe to go back into outer space, the Freakazoids at DC Comics ambush you with the scummiest comic book this side of Uranus. Get ready for the most skull-crunching, crotch-punting, and excrement asteroid-filled comic of the year. Sounds good. We also have Plastic Man No More. Eel O'Brien might be a superhero now, but before he was anything else, he was a crook. Until the accident that turned him into the pliable Plastic Man, Eel was bad to the bone. And just because he no longer has bones doesn't mean that that's not still true. When an incident on a Justice League mission leads to catastrophic cellular damage, Plastic Man discovers he just might be out of time to make amends for the past he's tried hard to outrun, or to save the soul of his son, who, unfortunately for him, might have inherited more from dear old dad than just his superpowers. They also have a couple facsimile editions. We have Crisis on Infinite Earth 6 and Detective Comics 400. We have one from IDW that I just want to talk about. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Nation. It's a new ongoing series that takes place between the end of the last series and the start of the new one, where there's new mutants coming around. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles found themselves at a crossroads attempting to keep their family united while individually feeling the need to break away and explore life in a world that knows about mutants. So, new Turtles book. Now on to what's coming from Image Comics. First up from Image is The Moon is Following us #1. This is a new one from Daniel Warren Johnson, the hero of Transformers. It's Sam and Duncan Lamar. Love their 6-year-old daughter Penny more than anything in the whole world. But half a year ago, she was taken by the Cascade, an evil force they barely understand. Now Sam and Duncan must fight side by side with the magical beings Penny cherished to try and get her back before she's gone forever. Maria Lovett has a new one, Violent Flowers. Vengeance blooms in their veins. A sensual tale about vengeance and acceptance and the importance of embracing who we really are. An ancient clan of vampires reunites after centuries. The Sentinel, a vampire who watches over all supernatural creatures, has been murdered. His erratic sister Carnella will stop at nothing to get revenge, even when she's charged with a mortal to take care of. In a world where the cult of youth and beauty rules, Carnella has remained old and wrinkled for ages, abstaining from her vampire urges. But her addiction to blood may prove her resolution is not as firm as it seems. Creepshow is back with Series 3, and Dead Eyes is back with a new series called Empty Frames. We also have The Horizon Experiment, The Manchurian, written by Pornsak Pichashot and Terry Dodson doing the art. A Muslim exorcist, a reverse Indiana Jones, and more. The Horizon Experiment are one-shots created by comics, films, and TV superstars, providing new points of view on popular genres and acting as pilots for new series. It starts with The Manchurian, a Chinese James Bond running covert missions in America for the enemy. We also have Knights versus Samurai. Sir Charles Ward, the Dragon Butcher, has achieved knighthood, acclaim, and is leading a legion of royal warriors on a noble mission, yet his self-doubt and grief haunt him. Venturing to a mysterious island in the Far East, Charles leads his diverse assembly of fighters to seek vengeance against savage monsters who ambushed a group of English missionaries. Arriving on the island reveals that the truth may be drastically different from what Charles was led to believe, and the savage monsters he will face are actually a regiment of skillful warriors, the likes of which he has never seen. Lady Mechanica has a new series, The Devil in the Lake, and Old Dog is back with a new one-shot, Operations. We also have new from Giant Generator, which is Rick Remender's company, is the Tin Can Society. Johnny Moore is a world-famous tech mogul known as much for his work pioneering mobility aids for people with disabilities like himself, as he is for moonlighting as the metal-suited vigilante Caliburn. But when Johnny is found murdered and his suit stolen, his estranged childhood best friends reunite to solve the mystery of his murder. Next up is Dark Horse. We have the Carlisle School for Kings. Emmeline Heron is the daughter of traitors, but even she cannot be denied entrance to the Carlisle School for Kings. For thousands of years, the academy has opened its doors to the best and brightest young people in the kingdom. There they are trained in matters of the heart, strength, and mind, and he who is deemed most exceptional will be crowned king for the next 30 years. When the king cycle repeats. This decree was enacted by Godwit himself to ensure that the king is young enough that hope and idealism still thrive within them. But if they want hope and idealism, they invited the wrong girls. We also have a Headless Horseman Halloween annual. Jupiter's Legacy finale is coming. That's by Mark Miller and Tommy Lee Edwards. We have a new miniseries for Where the Monsters Lie, Cul-de-sac. And now for the rest of the books. Okay, starting off with Boom Studios, we have Something is Killing the Children Zero. Witness this crucial, untold story within the vast Slaughterverse, detailing the mission preceding the fateful Archer's Peak saga, where the entire story began. We also have a new one, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Yosagi Yojimbo series. Firefly is back with Malcolm Reynolds Year One. The legendary Captain Mal Reynolds' origin story revealed. Despite starting from an unlikely place, Malcolm Reynolds has always been a troublemaker. Becoming a browncoat was always meant to be. What unexpected obstacles lie on the path to him becoming the captain fans know and love before assembling the crew of the spaceship Serenity? We also have Jim Henson's Labyrinth. Ahead of the landmark 40th anniversary of Jim Henson's seminal film in 2025, Boom Studios proudly presents the first ever graphic adaptation of the novelization, which includes moments and scenes never shot or captured in the feature film. Dynamite Comics, you're not going to believe this, brings us a new Red Sonja series, Red Sonja Death and the Devil. An undead assassin called Bloodless is stalking her every step, and he intends to force Red Sonja to face her inner demons, whether she likes it or not. Titan Comics brings us a new Conan the Barbarian book, Battle of the Black Stone. Conan of Samaria is haunted by shadows, living nightmares connected to a mysterious eye symbol etched in the black stone. Valiant is back with a vengeance this month, Resurgence of the Valiant Universe. This is it, the series that will change our heroes forever. Prepare to see the unexpected, the rise of Dr. Silk. Once an infamous villain, now a beacon of hope, he brings forth radical ideas of a utopian world where death is no longer a part of the human experience. Dr. Silk and his weavers craft webs of eternal life in a world shattered. Can our heroes navigate this new world order? The battle lines are drawn, and the only question is whose side you will be on when the dust settles. Featuring Exo Manowar, Bloodshot, Eternal Warrior, Ninjak, Ivar, Rye, Livewire, Faith, and more. We also have Black, White, and Bloodshot. Enter the world of Bloodshot in this brand new Black, White, and Blood anthology. Meet Bloodshot, the world's deadliest assassin, a super soldier engineered with nanites, a versatile nanotechnology that allows Bloodshot to repair the damage inflicted on his body, change his appearance, and control machines. Next up, we have Distillery has two new ones. First one's The Missionary. This is by Ryan Stegman and Jason Howard. It's a really long description, but basically a devotedly religious man finds his wife in the clutches of an elder from the church, and he leaves, and he's angry, and a demon takes over his body. And he decides to let him in and focus on his anger, where the demon actually inhabits his body because he wants to be good. So that's the basic premise. And then an exorcist finds him and wants to drive out the demon. Demons from hell come up and want to take over the earth. So he kind of has the power to stop both of them. And it's that story. We also have Time Waits. This is written by Chip Zdarsky. Meet Blue, a man trapped in the past, which is our present, sent back in time for a mission he could not bring himself to complete. The former soldier Blue builds a life with Grace, the sheriff of a small town. The pair build a foundation of happiness on a history of bloodshed, as far away from the trigger-happy corporate overlords that used Blue as a human gun. After 10 years together, Blue and Grace are on the cusp of taking the next step in their relationship, adoption. Before Grace can fully convince Blue to expand their family, the future comes calling. The overlords want their first deserter, and to complete the mission, Blue could not. They have one simple rule: kill anyone who stands in their way. Mad Cave is giving us a Flash Gordon Quarterly, which is an anthology of a bunch of Flash Gordon stories. They also have Revolution 9. After years as an assassin for the Order of Nine, an ancient order dating back almost 3,000 years, Velveteen has turned her back on the very organization that saved her. Tasked with the murder of an otherwise innocent hacker, Jasper Dean, she sets off to save his life and discover the terrible secret that marked him for death. With the entire order after them, Velveteen and Jasper must escape their grasp and prevent them from toppling society as we know it. We also have The Body Trade. Kim Krillick is a divorced ex-con who's trying to atone. However, his short temper tends to get the best of him. When he returned to Florida to bury his estranged son, he sickened to find the empty grave. His son's remains were sold into the body trade. Armed with righteous fury, Kim sets out to reclaim his child's corpse. But one act of vengeance causes everything to spiral out of control. We also have Dark Empty Void. Scientists have created a stable, microscopic black hole in a secret underground compound. But when they lose control, the black holes spews out a cosmic maelstrom, strange, dangerous creatures, and most surprisingly, a mysterious human teenage girl. Now a depressed but brilliant psychologist must help her estranged husband and other scientists solve the mystery and close the black hole before it consumes all of Earth. We also have Prairie Gods. Every small town has its secrets. Prairie Gods is Twilight Zone meets Sin City. Each self-contained issue centers on supernatural events and characters in and around the small prairie town of Broadacres. The first exhilarating story features Freddie Davis, a champion race car driver who has returned home to Broadacres. He buys an abandoned speedway, intending to race its only undefeated driver, the devil himself. Magma Comics has a new one called Hell's Half Acre. Life is changing fast in 1904 Nashville, but the sins of the past can live free in a place called Hell's Half Acre, where you can find gambling, sex, and most any other debauchery ever dreamed. And none do it better than Miss Marion's, where a mysterious gambler named Britt sets in motion a chain of events that will have lawmen and outlaws alike aiming to put him 6 feet under. Will the woman that Britt scorned be his downfall or salvation when hell comes calling? Oni Press has some new ones. New one from Cullen Bunn, The Autumn Kingdom. Best-selling author Andrew Keir found the perfect place to finish his latest dark fantasy novel, an idyllic remote cabin in the edge of a lush Swedish forest. His young daughters, Summer and Winter, gleefully explore until they happen upon a strange clearing of ancient statues, goblins, dwarves, elves, and a warrior queen mysteriously missing her sword hand and weapon. When something sinister follows the girls home and viciously snatches her parents in the night, the sisters' only hope may be that ancient relic, lost in the forest underbrush, waiting for a new champion to take it up. And lastly, we have a new one from Vault called Goobers #1. Clayton Lowe is headed back to his small southern hometown. His new friends from grad school are about to meet his old friends from high school and discover that something may have finally changed in the town where nothing ever changes. Pine Cove is ground zero for an infestation of body-snatching alien bugs. Time to bury the past. So that's all the #1s coming out this month. There's also going to be a ton of continuing stories and lots of neat graphic novels and all sorts of stuff coming out. So please stop by. We're doing Transformers for Book Club, and that is going to be on Friday, September 27th. Our focus is on James Tynion, and we're having our big anniversary sale on Saturday, September 7th. So if you have any questions, the website's pittsburghcomics.com, Facebook is Pittsburgh Comics, Twitter and Instagram are PGH Comics. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month.